Well, this next project involves the window blinds. Now, I know this blind is about my age. It's pretty old. Not really. It was installed in 2006. Anyway, it's the old strings, spaghetti, the louver control over here, and the height control over here, including 4 strings, all 4 of which still are coming out. That's a good sign. It's all tangled up, and I would be willing to bet that this blind has never been adjusted to be the length of this window. It probably hangs down past the window. So let's get it untangled first, and then see if we can get it down. And when we get it down, see where it ends up. All right, here we go. All right, well, this is interesting. You can see that the strings go all the way to the floor. Those can be shortened. Do you know you're allowed to cut those strings after you've purchased these blinds? They're yours. You can do whatever you want. And you're allowed to cut those strings to a reasonable length. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. I'm going to leave them like that for now, because when I let it back up. So to let it up, you have to somehow disengage the little knurled wheel in there, and usually that involves pulling it over this way and then giving it a little tug. There we go. It's disengaged. We've got some interesting stuff going on. These guys got attached to one another. So the painters were in here, and little bits of paint got on the corners and attached to it. So they're not warped. No problem, really. But look at this. Okay, here's your blinds, blinds. And then there's a stack of louvers. Now I know you want to know, how far would these go if you just let them? Let's do it. So I'm going to hold it out from the wall, and again pull it over so that it releases. Just keep going. Okay, we've hit the toilet now. So I don't know how far these would go, but I think they would go like a good 6 feet, and this window is maybe 3 foot high. So they were never adjusted. And you can do that. It can be done. Most people don't do it. I've been in houses where there's just a ton of louvers hanging on the bottom. If they're professionally installed, then usually they've been adjusted. So what we want this bottom. We have to have this bottom here. Okay, so this is a special piece. And the strings go in here and they get popped in and held in place and all that jazz. So we definitely want this bottom. And then, but we don't want like everything from here down. So what we have to do is be very careful not to cut too much. But we want to cut these louvers loose and get them out. And then we want to cut the string down here somewhere. I don't know where exactly yet. And then put this bottom piece in where this, where this bottom louver is, okay? So it'll be just the right length. And if it's a little short, that's okay, because the window, you can see, comes up like a few inches. So you're not going to have any daylight coming in. But it may just not sit in the bottom of the window, which may be fine. You know, that's probably a good thing. So we're going to try to get this bottom piece where this piece is. Okay, so this piece needs to come out and everything below it. Now these are just stuck in there, I think. Okay, they're just stuck in there, and they have little grooves. I'll show you the little grooves here. If you can see that little groove holds the string, and if you just set it free from that little groove, the slat just slides right out. And of course it catches on the next groove, and you got to do that. So anyway, this is a good time for a time lapse. So I'm going to take all, however many, 20 of them it looks like, of these bottom ones out, and let's just do it. Okay, I took 2 of them out and it was so fun that I never want to do it again. So I think what I'm going to do is cut right here. Just cut this. You want to make sure you have this bottom loop. I think you do for the bottom piece to go in. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. You don't even need that. But I'm going to cut down here so that I have a couple of extra to play with. I'm not quite ready for that kind of commitment to just cut it right here. And I don't think I want to cut it right here. I want to cut it below there so that the string stuff's in the bottom piece. But let's do that. Okay, so all of this is about to go. Is there anything you guys should be telling me right now? Like, don't cut it. Okay, actually, the controlling strings, these guys, are coming down here, and then the draw strings are also coming. So I think I want to cut those strings a little bit past. I want to make sure I have plenty of that. This string, this one that has the lattice work on it, it's just holding it. Okay, so I can cut it wherever. I can cut it here, cut it there, whatever. But I'm going to cut this string so that I have, 6 or 8 inches, because I'm not sure that I might not need it later. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just cut everything down here. And then all the strings in the back as well, you got to cut. So, well, now it's coming out. Okay. Look at that. Talk about a weight loss program. Look at that stack that I just removed. And I already took 2 out, and I'm going to take these 2 more out in a minute when I get ready to commit to cutting it to the exact length. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is get these popped out, okay? Because they're holding the string there. So just get under that with the knife and pop it up to where I can grab it with my fingernails, I guess. Fingernails aren't feeling like it today. So just get under there with the knife. You can use the back edge of the knife if you're worried about cutting the plastic, but you're not going to hurt it, most likely. Okay, don't lose that, all right? So we're going to have 3 of these. And see how the strings are just stuffed in the hole? And there is, I don't know how well you can see it, there is a cross lattice under this last piece. So we'll put this last piece on top of this lattice right here when we get it out. Okay, and then we'll cut the string, stuff it in there, and then we can make our adjustments over here. I'll show you that in a minute. I really want to encourage you to do this if you have blinds that need shortening, and don't be scared. Okay, what did I just do? Okay, so these strings that are hanging out, these are the ones that lift it up. And it looks like I've just cut off some very important strings. However, and I could have left them and just tightened them some, but what I'll have to do, see, they're just stuck in there and knotted. So what I'll have to do is stick the string back in there and knot it in the right place and get it to hold. I could have not cut these, but I just had so many louvers to remove and didn't want to try to save these. So, but don't worry about like knotting them in the right place or anything, because we can adjust them here. Okay, so don't worry, and we got plenty of string to work with. So don't worry about these guys, but we need to take them out. So here's me attempting to take them out. There we go. And these are not the strings with the lattice. These are the controlling strings that go alongside it. There's like these are right alongside those lattice strings. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay, so we have them all out. Here's a warning of some sort. Let's get rid of that. And this is ready to go back in right here. So this is where we're going to want it. And how's that look? Okay, so it's, when we get rid of everything, there's where it'll be. It'll be like hanging about 1/8 of an inch off of the sill. I think, to me, that's perfect. And then when you tilt it, of course, it'll run into the sill, but that'll be fine. Feels better already. Okay, we need to get these other two off of here. So I think I'm ready to make some commitments here on the cutting. These strings right here, the lift strings, like I said, you've got a ton of it over here, okay? These could actually be up here right now. So you've got an extra probably 2 or 3 feet to work with. So no worry there. And we'll untie the spaghetti in a minute. So we'll just, see, we'll just remove this string from the equation down there. Okay. And it can, let's see, it's caught in there somehow. Okay. I want to leave it, there's a little loop there off of this string that holds this string next to it. I'm going to leave it in that loop. I don't know that it's necessary, but, and then poke it into the hole. Yeah, easier said than done. Okay, these may need to be burned. I'm going to try licking it. See if that gets it in. Nope. Okay, these need to be burned like with a lighter, and then, because they're nylon, and then just shaped to a point. Last night we stopped here, we had put this bottom piece into where it's going to go, just to see how that hangs, and you can see it's just right off the sill. I think that's going to be good. We can go ahead and cut out these bottom 2 slats, get rid of them. Now we have all of this string here to deal with, and what happens with the string that doesn't have the lattice work, that just comes straight down, it's a little bit stronger, and it's the one that's actually pulling up the shade, and this needs to go in this hole. So what I need to do is get it's already flared out from being cut, so I need to get something that will sharpen it. So I'm going to get a lighter and just melt that, and then as it's hot, just kind of stretch it out so it's sharp. Okay, in the middle is just the lattice cord, so we don't have to worry about those. And then on the other side, this is nylon cord, and so basically it's plastic, and so it's melting, and then you just like pull it out to sharpen it. You can see I got a little bit on my finger there. It comes right off, burns a little bit. Okay, so now we want to poke them into this hole here. I think we want to take them out of the, there's like a little retaining loop every other lattice. We don't need it to go through that. Here's a hole on the side. We're going to poke the string on the front into the front hole, of course. And then as we feed it in, we'll see it going by this large hole. Now, you might be able to catch it with your finger, yeah, like that, and just bring it out. And once you've got it out, then you just need to tie a knot in it so it can't get back through. And I believe with these, all you need to do is just tie one little knot like that, and that'll keep it from getting back out. Okay, and you can see there's slack in this. Don't worry about that. We'll take it out on the top, you know, on these long lines. We'll pull that slack out. Okay, and then the same with the back. We'll just bring this through the back hole, and there it is. And if it doesn't want to go towards the hole, you can like twist it around, because it's curved, you know, twist it around and then push it in. Anyway, that was pretty easy to do. If you can't do it, you know, get a pair of tweezers. If you can't grab that, or needle nose pliers or something that can grab the string. Okay, so once we've tied those knots, we can pull the slack out this way, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So here we are with the front, and just put it through this hole. And out the bottom hole. And I'm twisting it the wrong way. Okay, so that one's being difficult, so let's get the tweezers. Just happen to have some tweezers nearby. So, let's see. That slat is kind of in the way. You might tilt the slats and have better luck. I don't know. I'm just too lazy to do that, I guess. Okay. Once you get the string down in there, where you can see it, I don't even see it. There it is. Okay, now I see it. Can pull it out like that. Okay, what did I just do? Oh, okay, I flipped it over. So, okay, thought I had the front one in the back. But pull it out, tie your knot again. Okay, and then let's do the back one, same way. Poke it through that hole. And oh, this one wants to cooperate. Nice. Okay, tie the knot again. Okay, now we haven't done anything with this mess right here, and we don't have to yet. I mean, it'll work. Now that we've tied these knots, it should be functional. I'm gonna come over here and grab this rat nest here of strings and just pull on them individually until I see some motion. You see that moving? Okay, that's that one and that one, okay. And then once I pull them all to where they're like taut, you know, I took all the slack out from where I tied that knot, I should be able to just pull it and it works. So, and then I'll let it back down, if I may. See, pull it over this way right now. Okay, and that's how it's going to look. And all we have to do is clean up the little mess that we made with the lattice string. So let's pull this out. We want to cut any of the remaining side lattices, and then we want to cut this piece that's hanging down. I'm doing the middle first because there's no pull strings involved, so I can't screw up. We want to cut this piece probably past where we cut the first lattice. So there'll be plenty of string to stuff up in there with the little button, you know, and button it up. So same in the back. And then we'll just poke this string in there from this side, poke this string in from that side, and since they're sitting on the lattice, since this is sitting on the lattice string, it's not super critical how tight we get this. But you actually could poke the whole lattice in even. I don't think you want to do that because you want it to sit down a certain distance. So I poke the strings in, and then I push down on this to make sure that I'm at the limit of the lattice. And now I'm going to put this button back in. And you can see it has little notches here and little notches here. I would think you would want these notches to kind of line up the string just to allow some room for that to go in. So I put this string in this notch, this front other string in this notch, and I left the lattice string out. So just pop that down, and you can pull the string around so it comes out of the little notch. Okay, so that's the middle one, and we'll just do both sides now. Okay, once we've got this buttoned up down here, we can shorten these control strings quite a bit. I mean, you can see how long these are. It's pretty ridiculous. So I'm gonna, it's all the way down. So this is as high up as the string will ever come, right here. It's not gonna get any higher than this because this is as low as it's gonna go. Since we cut out all that extra length, it's not going to go down and pull all the string up. So what I want to do is, I'm not sure what these little beads are even for. I think they're like some kind of limit to keep it from going down too far. Well, I don't know what the point of that is. So I think I'm going to take these little beads out and just put these little guys in here, the little pulls in here, all at the same level, and I think about halfway up the blinds would be fine. I'll make sure that I'm just pulling it up to make sure that all the slack is out of these lines. It's nice and level, so I'm confident that all the slack is out, and you can just kind of pull on it easy, you know, to make sure all the slack is out, and then we can just cut it off. Maybe a couple inches below the halfway point, and then tie our knots, put our pulls back on and tie our knots. So I'm just going to cut it there, and then I'm going to cut these pulls off, and because I don't want to really deal with that tangle, much as I love to do that, I'm not going to do it today. You want to cut this far enough back that you can poke the thing out, by the way. That's something I kind of missed. But there you go. Take the string out of it. And we've got 4 pulls. If your shades are really old and these are nasty, then this might be a good time to clean them off. So I cut these all off about the same place. I will put the knobs on them. May have to melt these like I did before to get through the hole. We'll see. Nope, that one went in. And then tie the knot pretty close to the end of your string there. And I'm going to leave, you know, maybe a 1/4 inch of string. And I want to do all of them that way, so because I cut them all off at the same level, I'm going to leave the same amount. Oops. Don't tie your knot until you've put... Okay, you can see those are hanging about the same. So, and they don't have to. I mean, you could cascade them down if you want. I want them the same so that I can see if something's out of whack. One of these will be out of whack. And now we have these shortened cords that hopefully are not long enough for little children to hang themselves. That's been a safety concern. I don't know if it's ever actually happened, but it certainly has been a concern for parents that these cords don't hang way down there, so kids get wrapped up in them. So I've got them all like that. You can just grab them, pull it up out of the way when you want to open the blinds, and then pull it over and let it down when you want to close them. Now, these two are hanging past the edge. I think they should be up here also. All they do is darken the room. So, you know, they're going to go about 8 inches travel. So, if they're right here, there won't be too much travel. And so we'll put the blinds level. And when they're level, I want these two to be the same. So I'm going to cut them off at about the same place I did these over here. Just so you can see, you know, from being hung up for so long, there's like dust on them. This one actually has a little bit of paint on it, so that's why I like to clean them off. And again, we'll leave a 1/4 inch of string after the knot. And you can just adjust this knot by just kind of pushing it down before you have it completely tight. And if it, you know, if it tightens too quickly, then you can just loosen it back up. So there's that one. All right, and those are hanging exactly the same level. And then when you pull them, they're like that or like that, depending on how you want to do it. That's all there is to it. And I know that was kind of a long drawn out thing, but hopefully it'll inspire you to shorten your blinds. Don't be intimidated by it. It's a little scary because you think you can cut off too much, but be adventurous. Try it. All right, I appreciate you watching. If you like this video, please like, and if you want to see more like it, please go ahead and subscribe. And thanks for watching.